Newsom prepares to violate state constitution to save democracy in redistricting battle. You see the logic here. You see the Democrat twistic logic here. Even though we're not a democracy, we're a republic. That's a whole nother issue. I hate that I have to clarify that every time because I get people in the comments saying, we're a republic, we're a republic. I acknowledge that. Yes, we're a republic. I acknowledge that. But let's just, for sake of argument, let's say we are a democracy, what Democrats always claim we are, even though we aren't. This is twisted logic saying that they gonna save democracy by getting rid of democracy, not paying attention to the Constitution. It's ridiculous. It's par for the course for the Democrats, though. This is how they do things. If things don't go their way, they say, forget the rules, forget the laws. We're just gonna do it this way so we can win by any means necessary. It's pretty much the Democrat motto. But we're gonna talk a little bit about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Zero Hedge, and they report that Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom is moving ahead with the controversial plan to redraw his state's congressional maps by overriding the state's nonpartisan redistricting commission to counter redistricting moves by Republican lawmakers in Texas. So we want a whole different separate state is doing what they have to do according to the people in that state, talking about Texas. So now California is upset with that state and going to go in and try to go against their own constitution, their own laws that they created just because they're mad at another state. This is ridiculous. But Newsom has launched a $100 million campaign that is backed by, of course, Planned Parenthood, the Service Employees International Union, the California Teachers Association, and the California Federal and Labor Unions, and a handful of billionaire donors. Lawmakers in California approved a redistricting plan on Thursday, labeling it democracy's best bet. And I said, of course, Planned Parenthood, because Planned Parenthood is getting hit the hardest by Republicans right now. And they want to get some, they want to put some baby killer Democrats back in power so they can come back and get some more of that government money. That's why I said, of course, to the whole Planned Parenthood thing. Well, Gavin Newsom said over $6 million and 200,000 donations in 1 week. California and the nation are ready for this fight. Wow. Data Republican said, hello, Gavin Newsom. In 2010, California voters passed Prop 20 by a landslide, 62-38, to make redistricting take redistricting out of politicians' hands and enshrine an independent citizen commission in their state constitution. That was the will of the people. Now you launched, I don't know what the rest of it said, but it is true. They are going against their own laws of the state just so they can get their way, because they know the Democrat Party. When I say they, I mean the Democrat Party. They know their time is coming up. Their time is short. They lost the will of the people. They will no longer win any type of national elections unless they pull some shenanigans like this. They know this. However, serious concerns remain as to whether Newsom's plan can survive legal scrutiny for a number of reasons. In 2010, a decisive percentage of California voters, 62-38, passed Prop 20, which took redistricting out of the hands of politicians and created an independent citizen commission in the state constitution. Constitutional attorney Mark Muser says Newsom's redistricting plan would violate California's constitution by holding hearings on a bill less than 30 days after introduction and by drawing maps without authority. This is, just all against their own constitution. Muser also says Newsom's plan runs afoul of the state constitution by drawing maps contrary to its requirements and by drawing mid-decade maps, which are prohibited. But the Democrats don't care anything about laws, man. We know this. Mauser further claims that Newsom will need to change the law that requires 131 days notice for special elections on constitutional amendments. Newsom's actions appear to put the will of billionaire donors and politically connected special interest groups ahead of the will of the people of California, who voted to amend their state's constitution to make redistricting less susceptible to political mischief. Under these conditions, Newsom's determination to save democracy appears to mean doing whatever it takes to claw back Democratic control of Congress, even if it means ignoring or undermining the will of millions of residents of California. I don't think it's going to pass muster because, of course, Republicans are going to sue over it and they're going to win in the court of law because they got a whole constitution that's saying you can't do what Gavin Newsom is trying to do. So even if you got some of the worst judges that will preside over this when the Republicans sue, I think they will look at it and say, you know, we got to follow the Constitution because it is what it is, even if you might disagree with it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think this is going to pass? Do you think Newsom is going to get away with this redistricting plan? Do you think the courts are going to stop him? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.